Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Ori again, and today I'm going to be bringing you my Arms Warrior kind of overview and how I spec, gem, and I also do my glyphs. So, for starters, let's just get right in. So, for my spec, I like to run Warbringer, Second Wind, Disrupting Shout, Shockwave, Mass Spell Reflect, and Avatar. Now, the spec can be changed. You can either change Warbringer out for Double Time or Juggernaut. Personally, I would rather change Warbringer out with Double Time. The reason for it is because I find that Double Time is a lot better than Juggernaut because you are getting that extra charge off. So if you're going up against anything like a mage or something, if they blink for your charge stun or if they blink after a stun from another person or whatever, you can charge them again, and it's still a really good thing to have. Although it doesn't generate rage as often as you'd like it to, it's still on par with Juggernaut and better than Warbringer for generating rage. Now in the third talent, you can change Disrupting Shout out with Staggering Shout or Piercing Howl. Personally, I like to change it out with Staggering Shout. Piercing Howl is alright, but it does cost rage. Although it has no cooldown, I still like the fact that it doesn't require rage for Disrupting Shout, which is an interrupt, or Staggering Shout, which is a root. Whereas Piercing Howl is just a 50% slow. Now, on this fourth tier, you can't really trade anything out. Bladestorm isn't that viable, and Dragon Roar is really heavy burst, but the utility from it is not that great. Shockwave is still your best option here. In the second last tier, you have Mass Spell Reflect or Safeguard. Mass Spell Reflect is the exact same as Spell Reflect, except it reflects your entire group for 5 seconds, so it's anyone within 20 yards of you. Again, it's really good for reflecting CC or damage, so it's a very nice thing to have, especially if you're going up against anything with a druid or a mage or something where you can reflect a cast from them. So again, a really nice thing to have. Safeguard, it breaks your roots, and it also pain subs the target, which means they take 20% less damage for 6 seconds. So it's really nice if you're going up against a team that has a lot of roots. You can get out of a root in every 30 seconds without needing a dispel. And it's also a defensive cooldown for your teammates. So again, depending on the comp you're going to go up against, Mass Spell Reflect or Safeguard are both viable. Now in the last tier, I like to stick with Avatar. I have tried out Stormbolt. It wasn't really my thing. I prefer Avatar way more than I do Stormbolt. The reason for it is because Shockwave right now is fine. Next patch though, it is getting nerfed, and I do plan on coming out with a Warrior kind of overview for the PTR once it's a little bit more finalized, because I don't want it to come out and everything to just be changed around. But for now, I like to run with Avatar. Stormbolt could be viable next patch with the change to Shockwave, which is becoming a 40-second baseline, and 20-second cooldown it's reduced to a 20-second cooldown if you hit 2 or more targets. Sorry, if you hit 3 targets, 3 or more. So that's my spec for Arms. Now going into the glyphs, I really like these 3 glyphs. So it's Glyph of Hindering Strikes, Glyph from Death from Above, and Glyph of Colossal Smash. The reason I really like Glyph of Hindering Strikes, which reduces the target's movement speed by 50% when you use Heroic Strike or Cleave, is because I played a rogue last season, so I was really used to having crippling poison and always being on top of my target. So Glyph of Hindering Strikes allows me to do that without using a global for hamstring, and I really like that about it. Glyph from Death Above right now is necessary, I think, because the damage increase from it is huge. Like when you have your cooldowns popped, you can crit people up to 50 to 100k sometimes. And also the reduction on the cooldown is huge for Arms right now, because with Gag Order being removed last patch, you don't have as much CC and it's harder to move around. But next patch, a lot of things are going to be changing. They're actually removing the damage increase from this glyph completely, so it's just going to be reducing the cooldown. So I'm personally thinking about changing this glyph to Glyph of Mortal Strike, because they're also nerfing defensive stance to 15%. So Mortal Strike, what it does, the glyph is every time you have Mortal Strike applied, you receive 10% more healing. So I think it'll counter out the defensive stance nerf, but I'm going to get into that again when I do my PTR video. Now, Glyph Colossal Smash, it stacks Sunder Armor when you use Colossal Smash. I really like this talent. I mean, it's a really big talent for me because I do a lot of armor damage, and depending on the teammate I'm playing with, I will either swap this out for something like Glyph of Blitz or Mortal Strike or something else that will also help out my teammate instead of just myself. But usually Glyph of Colossal Smash, I really like it because it does more damage if you are a physical damage type. Now, moving on to my gems. Now, because I do tank RBGs, I do have a stamina meta in my helmet, but it also reduces damage taken by 2%. Now, usually you'll see a lot of warriors run, I believe it's 324 strength and 3% crit. It's something around there, I can't remember exactly. That's a really good meta to use. I used it before and I really liked it, but with me taking RBGs, it was just costing me too much to switch between the two metas, so I just stuck with this one. Now I'm also running 80 strength and 160 PvP resilience in my helmet. The reason is because I get strength still, and I'm also maximizing my resilience. And resilience is one of the best stats in this game right now, by far. Now on my shoulders, I'm using the 200 strength and 100 crit enchant, and I'm also stacking resilience again. On my chest, I'm enchanted with 200 PvP resilience, the 80 strength, 160 PvP resilience, and PvP resilience again because PvP resilience is so key. On my bracers, I'm using the 180 strength. Now, I'm also a blacksmith, so I do get an extra socket, so I'm using resilience in that extra socket. On my gloves, I'm doing the same thing, 160 PvP power, 160 PvP resilience, and PvP resilience. Right now, resilience is still, like I said, the best option. And then I'm also using 170 strength on gloves. Belt, I'm doing the same thing as gloves. Legs, I'm using my JC gem. They're actually making a new JC gem for everyone, for all Jewel Crafters next patch, which is 180 of your base stat, and then 320 either PvP power or PvP resilience, which is going to be really nice for me because having just that 320 strength isn't really that great for me. I'd rather have a split or have strength and resilience. Unfortunately, they don't have a straight up resilience gem like they did in Cataclysm, or else I'd be using that. And then I am using the PvP power and PvP resilience again for my blue socket. And then I'm using the 285 strength and 165 crit leg enchant. On my boots, I'm using 140 mastery and minor movement speed, and then 320 PvP resilience. Now, all in all, these are my gems. You can trade it out. I know a lot of warriors like to just stack 100% PvP resilience or PvP power instead of PvP resilience. Or some warriors like to stack 100% PvP resilience. I like to do a little bit of both because right now warriors have a lot of tanky parts of them, so they can deal with getting hit, but they can still deal with getting away with having a bit of PvP power. So, anyways guys, this has been my Arms Warrior kind of overview. I plan to make a protection one, maybe going over a little bit of strategy and how to do a little bit of damage as a prot warrior in RBGs. But anyways, for now, I will talk to you guys later. Please follow TGN WoW. I'll be uploading videos, and so are the other great directors here. And anyways, have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys later.